Just before we get started, I do want to let you guys know we are going to be recording this and it's going to be going out in a newsletter. So all of this will be accessible later as well in case you missed something. And we're going to be posting this slide set on our Facebook page. So all of our dates and contact information will also be accessible there.
We can get started in just a minute. I'm just making sure our advisors have the link. All right. Oh wait, what happened to our slides?
Sorry.
Sorry, can you put the Google Doc again in the chat? Oh, sorry, I saw it. Never mind.
Okay.
Carolyn, are you good to go? Awesome.
Okay.
All right, well, we'll go ahead and get started. Sorry for the delay.
I think something happened with Jess. Is everybody able to hear me though?
Yes.
Okay. So then we'll go ahead and get started then. So our president, Hannah, she is unable to join us today. She had a death in the family, so she has to attend a funeral, unfortunately. So Jess is our vice president and I'm the president-elect. My name's Carolyn, and we will be taking care of this meeting. But yes, we just wanted to do a little bit of an overview of SSHP, go over what events we're going to be having this semester, and introduce you guys to our faculty advisors. Yeah, so thank you guys for joining us. And then Hannah just wanted to she wanted to do a little FaceTime with us, so she made this little video, and we will give that a watch.
Hello everyone, my name is Hannah Sasic and I am the president of SSHP. Unfortunately, due to the recent passing of a family member, I will not be at our first general body meeting. Although I cannot be in front of all of you today, I did want to formally address all of you with some face recognition, knowing that this year has brought about many challenges, with a lot of those being virtual. SSHP has always been one of the most exciting parts about pharmacy school for me, and I thoughtfully put together each slide of this presentation to make sure that I shared all of the benefits that an SSHP membership can provide for you. I'm fully dedicated to working hard and making sure that this organization serves your needs as an individual to make sure that you are the best candidate no matter where your career in the professional practice of pharmacy may take you. You will have two very engaged team members leading the meeting in my place today, and I've been working very closely with the both of them since stepping up into this position in May. Carolyn and Jessica, our president-elect and our vice president, along with our faculty advisors, Dr. Justin Colgren and Dr. JD Bickle, will do an amazing job at presenting all the information that Sshp has to offer. Again, I'm truly saddened that I cannot be with all of you today to share all of my excitement about Sshp, but I appreciate your understanding nature, and a special shout out to my team for being so supportive when I needed it the most. I encourage all of you to join Sshp, and I hope to see all of you at our next general body meeting on September 17th. Thank you so much.
All right. So again, thank you guys for your support with Hannah. I know she appreciates it a lot. And I know that having meetings virtual is a little unconventional. So to try to keep everybody engaged throughout, we're going to have some fun little this or that questions that are OSU and pharmacy related. So we're going to use our polling feature in Zoom. So this is our first one, scarlet or gray? All right. You guys are awesome. I love this participation. So we got almost everybody, and we're pretty much neck and neck. Look at that. Wow. Personally, I'm gray. I'm a fan of gray, but scarlet's okay. All right, so with that, then I'm gonna pass it back over to Jess. If she is there. Okay, I think Jess is having some technical difficulties, so I apologize. I'm gonna go ahead and keep it going though. So I just wanted to go over what our agenda is. So we're gonna do a little introduction of SSHP and ASHP, go over what benefits you will get as a member, and then we will introduce you guys to our faculty advisors, Dr. Justin Colgren and Dr. JD Bickle. And then we are gonna go through our fall events for this year and how you guys can get involved. So our mission as the student chapter for ASHP is to help empower student pharmacists and provide opportunities related to health system and hospital pharmacy. So this mission is unique because it's focused on improving your professional development skills and preparing you for the post-professional school life. So we've also included here ASHP's mission, which is our national parent organization, and they also provide benefits and services to us as members, as well as pharmacists who are members, to help advance their career goals and elevate their practice. So as you can see, our missions align very well and complement one another. So who are we exactly? We are the student chapter of ASHP, and we're dedicated to educating pharmacy students on how to be the most competitive candidate for residency and beyond, no matter what you choose to pursue post-pharmacy school. So we hope to provide the inspiration and motivation to help you find your career interests and pursue your goals. And we have numerous ways to optimize your practice personally and to apply what you have learned in school and clinical practice. And we do this by hosting events and providing opportunities surrounded around professional development, mentorship, networking, and promoting research. And we also take great pride in our community service that uplifts both our members and our community, and reminds us all really why we've chosen a career in pharmacy. So as your student chapter, we're also responsible for providing communication on all of our membership benefits. And this can include exploring your career options, attending different conferences like mid-year, providing information on scholarships and anything else that we can do to help benefit you.
All right, Carolyn, I'm back. I'm so sorry about that.
No, you are all good. So I'm going to pass this
Sorry,
over to Jess.
everybody. This has never happened to my Zoom before, and of course, today's the day. So thank you so much, Carolyn, for coming. Jessica Martz, and as Hannah mentioned, I'm the vice president. Again, so sorry for the technical difficulties. Of course, that happened, but I'll take it from what Carolyn was saying about ASHP and our values and who makes up this organization. So ASHP is constantly growing, 50,000 members, and this includes pharmacists, including pharmacy administrators, pharmacy specialists, as well as, of course, student pharmacians. A little fun fact about our acronym is the H originally stood for hospital, but in 1995 that was revised all-encompassing and include different aspects of healthcare such as ambulatory care and home care. So that is a little fun fact about the H in ASHP. So like I said, many different professionals are, this just kind of shows you a little bit more about the network that you're joining by being a part of.
Hey, Jess, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Dr. Bickle. I think Jess is just having some difficulty.
SSHP and ASHP.
Oh.
Can we go to the next slide, Carolyn?
Hey, Jess, real quick. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
You're cutting out a little bit. I think it might just be an unstable connection. So what do you think about Carolyn finishing up this part just in case it keeps going in and out?
Yeah, that sounds fine.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. Okay, sorry to interrupt, team.
Sorry about this, everybody. Okay, so Jess, since she's vice president, she is actually in charge of membership. She'll be taking care of all of that for everybody, which is kind of why she was going to be going over all of this. But I'm going to do my best. So with our membership in SSHP, you get 4 memberships in one. We have ASHP, which is our National Parent Organization. And then OSHP or OSHP, which is for just Ohio members. And then we have COSHP for Central Ohio, and then us specifically as SSHP. So although you'll have the most interaction with us as your student chapter, we want to make sure that you're all aware of the affiliations that you can benefit from. So membership gives you a competitive edge when learning about career choices and differentiating yourself as a leader in the classroom, on rotations, and in clinical practice. So all of these organizations, all 4 of them, can help provide career development, resources, pharmacy expertise, and networking. All right, so we have another poll. This or that. Like I said, they're gonna be pharmacy related, and so I hope this one's not too nerdy for you guys. So LexiComp or Micromedics, which is your preferred drug information resource? Okay. So LexiComp is, wow, the ruler. I will 100% agree with that. So that is good. Thank you guys for participating as well. All right, so then the next part of our presentation that we wanted to do is we wanted to introduce you guys to our 2 faculty advisors, Dr. Colgren and Dr. Bickle, if you guys would want to step in.
Absolutely. First and foremost, welcome everyone. Really enjoy the opportunity to spend some time with you over this format. We're really looking forward to the opportunity to see each other in person one of these days when we're allowed. So a little bit about myself. I'm one of the co-advisors with Dr. Bickle. I am a clinical pharmacist at Ohio State. I work in pain and palliative care. I'm starting my 5th year at Ohio State now. Prior to Ohio State, I spent 4 years in Knoxville, Tennessee. So for anybody who's from the South, 4 years prior to that, I lived in Las Vegas, Nevada. And prior to that, I began my career here in Columbus as well. Graduated from the Ohio State University School of Pharmacy as well as residency. So I'm Buckeye through and through. If you can see where I'm hanging out now in the shoe, hopefully one day we can all hang out there together as well. I've been co-advisor or advisor now of the Ohio State chapter for the last 4 years, and prior to that was advisor in my academic institutions as well. Dr. Bickle and I are here to support your leaders of SHP, and I can tell you they've done a phenomenal job getting ready for this year and the challenges they face. So your executive officers and those in leadership positions have been working hard to give you the best experience possible for this coming year. So what we'd ask you is, we ask like you have been today, to be very patient with us, number one. Number two, we'd ask that you give us constant feedback about how this year is going. We want to be dynamic and able to change what we're doing, even meeting to meeting, to make sure that we're meeting the needs of our members. That's why Dr. Bickle and I here exist. We exist as advisors to support your student leaders to give you the best experience possible. Okay, so welcome. Please do not hesitate to contact one of us if you need something. I'm going to pass it over to my wonderful colleague and friend, Dr. Bickle.
Oh, thank you. That's an introduction. Thanks, Justin. So I'm Dr. JD Bickle. I know some of you P3s from lab last year and some of the P2s, almost all of you I have had in lab so far this week. I apologize that you will have to hear me talk even more today than you already have in lab. But again, first week kind of stuff, right? It usually won't be this way. So my background is, this is my 3rd year teaching here at Ohio State. I teach in the P2 lab because the fall of that is institutional pharmacy practice, and that's my practice background. So I went to Ohio State, graduated in 2013, went into practice straight away. So have a slightly different perspective from I know ASHP is really good at the residency pathway and everything, but on the other hand, there are health system pharmacists that didn't end up going that way. And then I practiced at small rural hospitals for 5 years or so, and then came to Ohio State. And so I've been involved in SSHP over the last year or so, and it's been great. Y'all are in really good hands. When I was a student at Ohio State, SSHP was my way to get involved, and so it just felt so natural to kind of jump back in. So yeah, please let us know how we can help make this the best it can possibly be for you. Besides getting involved, which we're about to talk about, I think even just the idea of being a member of an organization, don't think of it just that you have to put your name on a roster and then you are passively there. I think I would encourage everyone to, let your voice be heard. If you have ideas, concerns, especially in such an unknown territory as this, I'm speaking on behalf of everyone, but I know these exec board members, they would love to hear it. So with that said, we'll talk a little bit more about involvement. I'll just go through a few quick slides. Do Jess or Carolyn, we have them in here, or should I pull them up real fast?
What slides?
No worries. I have them pulled up right here.
Okay.
Almost right here. There we go. All right. All right. And then whoever is the host, if you can just let me share my screen real quick, and then we'll jump right in.
Oh, and fun fact while you're doing this, for those of you who voted on LexiComp, you absolutely got the answer correct. There is a right answer there. There's not, but there is a right answer if you're LexiComp fans. But I worked for a short time with the individual who started LexiComp. Chuck Lacey is the pharmacist who started LexiComp many, many years ago. I also remember the days when I had to carry around my LexiComp book. We did have a book many years ago, and you had to carry it around, which is why our lab coat pockets always tore apart. So anyway, Chuck Lacey and I were colleagues at one point in time.
Love it. Okay.
I'm sorry, Dr. Bickle. I'm not sure how to let you share it.
No worries. So if you can go in to either make me a host or in security, if you click security, one of the options is you can allow participants to share screen.
Can you be a co-host?
Maybe we'll try it.
Okay.
Also, it's funny you say that about the Lexi and micromedics thing, Justin, because I have always said since coming to Ohio State that Ohio State and LexiComp, y'all really love your LexiComp. It's like LexiComp told you that cars didn't exist. You'd all be like, cars don't exist. So
Right.
Drugs don't exist unless they're in LexiComp. It's just true facts.
Okay, here we go. Awesome. So I won't spend too much time on this by any means, but there we go. This. Okay. All right. So I cannot see any of you. Can you see this?
Yes.
Yay, this is a good sign. Okay. So really, we just want to go this. Justin, feel free to chime in at any point. Anybody else, if you have any questions, thoughts, ideas that you want to share, this does not need to be a lecture type format. So by all means, please jump in. Really, we just want to take this opportunity at the beginning of the year to encourage you to think about what involvement means and basically how you want to get involved. I think the idea of should you get involved or not is something that about anybody that you will talk to in the profession would do nothing but encourage you to get involved in some format. So I think the question really becomes, how do you see yourself finding something you're passionate about, interested in, motivated by to get involved with? And that could be SSHP, it might not be so. Okay, so yes, we'll talk about what is it, how actually to get involved, why, some ideas why, if you don't already feel confident in that, and then what it could mean to be involved. And so in terms of why it might be a good idea, I think it's actually, one thing I will tell anybody that listens is I was surprised myself. When I look back at pharmacy school, I learned a lot, obviously. I feel a lot of anxiety when I think back to pharmacy school and learning. It was, it's tough, right? And it's all these feelings of like, oh, I don't really know if I know what I'm doing, what if I'm not gonna be a good pharmacist. But the experiences I had in SSHP, I did a lot with Generation RX when I was in school. The experiences I had there were absolutely formative in the way where I learned things like leading meetings, project management, scheduling things that would serve me in my later career, things that would serve me in other professional organizations, things that led me here to the college. And so besides the fact that it makes you a more well-rounded student, it can help provide you an avenue to pursue things you're interested in. The ways that you will, through getting involved, you'll think you're just doing something because you want something on your CV, but you'll be surprised how much you learn in the process about yourself, about working with others. You get to know people. So I did not know this when I was a P1 sitting in my first SSHP meeting that I would eventually get as involved as I did, but I'm sure glad that I did. So I'm talking to SSHP, of course, but really for anybody that's here, we're so glad you're here. If you're a member, awesome. We hope you'll renew your membership. If you're not a member, we hope you'll consider joining because we think there's a lot of awesome things going on here. We can talk a lot about all the different activities we have planned. But with that said, if you haven't quite figured out exactly what it is you think is going to be your thing, then you've got room to try and grow. It's early in the year, it's early in pharmacy school. So look through the different professional organizations. Don't focus solely on, oh, this one says it's for health system, this one says it's for community, this one says it's for long-term care. Because yes, they're probably more specifically targeted at that, but it doesn't mean that you have to know what you want to do with your life. It just means that what has the sort of environment and the sort of people that you could find yourself working alongside, learning with, going to a social with, that sort of thing. So once you find something that seems like it's working, get involved. And of course, everyone thinks that that means a leadership opportunity, and it definitely does. If there's opportunities, by all means, if you think you can take it on, apply. But even if not, just by coming to meetings, getting your face out there, becoming an active member, that's a really powerful thing too. So so don't take that for granted. Even if you're not sure if leadership's right for you or you don't get one right out the gate, it doesn't mean that you can't become involved and kind of leading from within. Also think about other ways to get involved. Maybe it's not through a professional organization. Maybe you're the sort of person who wants to really integrate themselves in a free clinic. Maybe you're the sort of person who really wants to make themselves indispensable at their work site. It's the same sort of ideas there. The whole thing comes down to, it's kind of how you can think of it in the process of getting to do something that you're motivated by anyways. You're building a network, you're getting transferable skills that you're probably not even thinking about on a day-to-day basis. So there's a lot of different ways for a lot of different people, and that's important. You'll have things to put on your CV. You'll actually get to apply things you learn in the classroom, which, believe me, I know from the lab, all of us want to do all the time. You'll be shocked how much you learn about what you can handle and what you need to learn, that sort of thing. And one of the most important things is you at some point during SSHP will probably have, and even other times during school, will have the opportunity to participate in mock interviews. And that is a great opportunity to practice using your behavioral situation-based question answers. So that we won't get too much into it, but you may have heard of like the STAR technique response. So it's basically someone asked me like, tell me about a situation in which this happened, right? You probably got a question like that in your pharmacy school admission interview. And so you could basically say, here's the situation, here's the task that I knew I had to do, so here's how I acted, and then here was the reaction, and here's what I did in response to that. So you can see that it spells STAR. And in any case, to be able to answer situational based questions, you got to be in situations. So getting involved is a good way to do that in ways that being a passive member in, say, a class or life in general may not necessarily help lend themselves to. So that being said too, involved people are the ones that move the profession forward, and are the ones that really seem to make a huge, everyone makes a difference in patients' lives, but involved people seem to be the ones too that I'm sure are going to bed every night and thinking like, yep, I did it. So you get lots of opportunities to care for people, and in response, you'll be recognized too. Our SSHP leaders have been recognized the last few years for being involved in ways that they probably were just happy to be involved, and then who knows, you can get recognized for it. So like we said, there's so many benefits you can get from it. I just can't emphasize this enough. You hear getting involved, and it's kind of like networking. I think it's like a buzzword that you think you'll hear a lot, and you want to, it's like, oh yeah, I should do that, but I don't really know what it means. I don't know if I have the time. So I think you'll surprise yourself. Just takes one step at a time. And along the way, if you want to talk about ideas, questions, advice, network, if there's anything we can do to help, that is exactly why we're here. We're more than happy to do so. Reach out to us, reach out to an SSHP mentor if you have one. And yeah. Okay.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Bickle and Justin, for introducing yourselves.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really awesome to have both of them as our advisors. They've been invaluable resources, and they're both very approachable. So please feel free to ask them any questions if you have any, and reach out to them with any questions you might have. So the rest of our e-board we have here, I believe we have about 16 people. All of them, we've been meeting with them over the summer, have been working incredibly hard. I am very sorry that I have this cat right now. So everybody's been working very hard behind the scenes to help make SSHP what it is today, and I could not be happier and more proud to be able to work with everybody here. And if you notice at the very bottom, we have a few positions that we are still looking to fill. So this is a great opportunity for the P1s to get involved. So then the next thing I wanted to talk about was our CHS opportunities. So we partner with the Columbus Free Clinic, which is open only to SSHP members. We recently did get it approved again for CHS hours. And we have two different opportunities now. So one is in person on Thursday nights from 6 to 10, and the other is a telehealth opportunity, which would count for 3 hours, and it kind of gets spread out over the week. So if you have any questions, you can contact the CFC coordinator, who is Jeremy, and then Mario and Kate are also chairs, and they've been helping in a fantastic way. So we have our next this or that. So P1s, I'm sorry, you haven't really gotten to experience these two classrooms too much, but Parks or Rife Hall, which one's your favorite?
So another fun fact about Parks when I was a student there in the early 2000s is what is now the men's restroom with the women's restroom and vice versa. So when I came back for the first time, I almost walked in the wrong bathroom. It was a bit embarrassing. So another fun fact about what it used to look like many years ago.
Well, I guess the College of Pharmacy has done a good job in spending the money to make Rife what it is, because everybody seems to like it. I agree, though. I enjoy Rife a lot. Okay, so now I'm just going to go through the rest of the events that we have planned for the fall and what we know about them so far. So the first is our membership drive. So we have it is started. It started a few days ago on the 24th, and it's going to keep going through September 4th. Jess is our main person of contact. She's the vice president, so you can contact her at marts.77. So dues for P1s, you guys are lucky. It's only $51 this year because ASHP, the national organization, they waived their fee for P1s. But for everybody else, I'm sorry, we do still have the 105. But you can either pay through Venmo or you can make out a check to SSHP and give that to Jess. Here's the Qualtrics form for filling out and signing up for membership. And if you have any questions, just contact Jess. So again, these are the different membership benefits that we have that we've kind of gone over. So we have like our clinical skills competition, and we do a lot of awesome events to help prepare you guys for post-grad life. So like mock interviews and all of the networking opportunities you get through Sshp and co-ship events. We do CV reviews, residency roundtable, all that great stuff. And we also have a mentorship program with Wexner Medical Center, and we have leadership positions. And we're just going right through all these this or that's. So here is our next one. Do you guys prefer white coats or your scrubs? Okay. Looks like we're a little torn. I agree. I'm kind of torn personally. I won't go into it, but scrubs are comfy, but I like wearing my white coat because I feel important. Okay. So then our next event that's coming up is our Take a Break virtual happy hour. This one is going to be on September 3rd at 4:30. We'll be sending out a Zoom link for it as we get closer to the date. But we have these awesome Take a Break initiatives that help support ASHP's vision for well-being and resilience. And we do these monthly. Some of the events that we've done in the past are candle making, yoga classes, we've gone to the art museum, all kinds of fun things. But with COVID, we're gonna still try to keep them going, and we're gonna have our virtual happy hour. like I said, on September 3rd. And so you can also continue to get even more involved through ASHP. So they have a new website that's called ASHP Wellbeing and You. So on that site, you can take a pledge to commit yourself to individual well-being and self-care. All right, so this next one that we have coming up is the ASHP CV review. So the deadline to submit your CV for this is September 3rd. Because it's such a short deadline, it's actually the earliest they've ever had it. It is only open to current SSHP members. So new members, unfortunately, you won't be able to do this quite yet. And we do require this for mid-year reimbursement. So that does mean that there's going to be a handful of people that are kind of going to be in this position of maybe you weren't a member last year, but you are interested this year and you're going to want mid-year reimbursement. We are willing to work with you guys on this and set up some kind of other CV review opportunity, maybe through career services. But if you find yourself in that situation, please just reach out to us. Otherwise, current members, you can submit your CV by September 3rd. And I believe feedback will be given back to us by October 31st. And then Sshp, they used to have residency showcase where they would also have a CV review, but that was unfortunately canceled. It's kind of up in the air. They might be doing a virtual CV review. But as we get information, we will communicate that out to you guys as well. Okay. So I know there's a lot of P1s here that are interested in how to get involved with us, which is super exciting. And we've always had really great P1 like leadership positions and involvement, and we'd love to keep that going. So we have these few positions open. So we have the advocacy co-chair, where you'll be working with our current chair, Kayla. She's a P2, and you guys put on one event per semester that is involved in advocating for our profession, as well as one event in the spring during PAI week. We also have the workforce wellbeing and resilience chair, which you will be then responsible for those monthly take a break initiatives. So it's really a great opportunity to be creative and help us all get to know each other. And then lastly, we have P1 liaisons. So the past few years, we've had 2 P1 liaisons because of how much involvement we've gotten from you guys, and we'd like to keep that going. So hopefully we'll be taking 2 more. And I will actually be taking care of the applications this year. So if you want to get involved, you can just email me a brief statement, introduce yourself, why you're interested in SSHP and why you believe you'd be a good fit for this position. You can run for all 3 positions, you can run for just one, but if you're gonna be running for multiple, please let me know what your preference is. And I will be taking those from September 8th through the 20th. And then if you do apply, we also will be expecting about a 2-minute speech during our e-board meeting on September 24th, which will be virtual, and I will be sending out the link for that after you apply. All right, so then next is Residency 101. That's gonna be our next GBM actually, so 11:30 to 12:30 again on September 17th. This is another requirement for mid-year reimbursement. And the speakers that we'll be having, we will have a resident panel, and they're going to go over just the basics for residency and discuss what we call like the right fit for a residency program, giving interview tips and going over the match process, and just generally trying to give some tips of how to be as great of a candidate as you can be. So then also we have the OSU mentorship program with the WEX. So this is only going to apply to our current P3s. So their first quarterly meeting is going to be September 23rd. We do take applications, but this is for P2s in the spring. So current P2s, that is something that you would get out of being a member again this year. Is in the spring, we will be taking applications, and you can get paired with a pharmacist who will help you with your professional development and networking and potential for research opportunities. And we have a chair position for this. So Angela Lee is heading this, and she's been doing an awesome job of keeping everything going and keeping everybody in contact. So if you have any questions, you can contact her. Her number is lee.6336. All right, so then next up, we have our clinical skills competition. So we have a practice one on September 9th and then the real one on September 24th. The practice, like the real one, will be you and a partner are going to work on a case, but it'll be more informal. It'll be virtual again, ideally, is what we're thinking. And you kind of just get a feel for what it's like to go through these patient cases. And hopefully we will be having Dr. Novak from Nationwide Children's help us out. And she actually used to write patient cases for this. And she's a great resource and can give you tips. And I think just from personal experience, the practice clinical skills competition and the real one for P1s, it can be kind of intimidating because you might not feel like you have the therapeutic knowledge yet to be able to do it, but it was a great learning opportunity. You get to learn just the tips and tricks of what you need to be looking for, how to present a patient, because a lot of us haven't done that yet. So I really encourage even P1s to get involved. It was a great opportunity. But then the real one will be September 24th. Again, you will sign up with a partner, and this is open to all pharmacy students, and you can use any drug information resource or guidelines that you have. And the winners will go on to go to mid-year and represent OSU.
And Carolyn, I think we do award a winner for each class. So P1, P2, P3, and traditionally it's P4s that win, though it's been very close the last couple of years. We've had P3s finish in the top three multiple years in a row, but we do award winners for each year, each class.
We do. It is a lot of fun. So that is another incentive. So even P1s, there will be a best P1 team. So then our next event tentatively is for October 15th. It will be an advocacy panel that Kayla is doing an awesome job of organizing. So we will get more details about that later. But I do want to emphasize how important it really is to be an advocate, even as a student pharmacist. I mean, we are the future of pharmacy, so I think that's what makes it extra important for us to be involved to help advocate for what we're learning, the extent of our education, and just getting our voices heard to help pave the way for the profession that we're going to be working in one day. So then November 10th, we will be doing our mock residency interviews. This is only available to P4s and is primarily just to help you guys prepare and practice the interview process, and you'll be able to get really good feedback from everybody involved, which will have pharmacists, and I believe career services also helps out with that. So that is for P4s on November 10th. All right, and then navigating mid-year. So the Pharmacy Council, they sent out an email with the schedule for all student orgs. We actually added an additional general body meeting on December 3rd. So this was not on the original calendar that was sent out. So we will be doing this, and it will be our Navigating Mid-Year GBM, which will help prepare students and give tips and tricks for mid-year, especially since it's going to be virtual this year. It'll be exceptionally beneficial to have, and we will have pharmacists and current residents as well as program managers there. And then lastly, I know I've been talking a lot about mid-year, and for P1s, you might be wondering what that is. It is actually, so the time frame is going to be December 6th through the 10th, and it is virtual this year, they announced. It's the largest meeting of pharmacists in the entire world. So it's really a great place to build your confidence. You can present research that you're doing at poster presentations. And this picture is actually from a few years ago of some of our members at mid-year. Okay, so this is our last this or that. And again, there is a correct answer. I know it's all opinions, but I think there's a correct answer. So acetaminophen or ibuprofen?
I'm super curious what the pain and palliative care specialty pharmacist has to say about this. I don't know if he can vote, but
I did vote, and there is a right answer here. Morphine would be the best answer, but it wasn't on there.
Yeah, sorry. No controls this time. Okay. Again, we're kind of split. Personally, I go with acetaminophen. Always the drug of choice for me, but y'all really like ibuprofen. Okay.
NSAIDs are the bomb.
Thank you guys again for your participation. We really appreciate it. So we were just trying to help keep you guys involved. So we ask that you guys can always get connected with us through Facebook. Like I said, this slide set's going to be shared on Facebook so you can access any of the information again. And we also have our Insta, which our secretary, Abby, has been doing a great job of keeping everything up there and up to date. So next up, we have been having, we have a gift card raffle. Since we don't have to pay for food, we decided we would just raffle off some gift cards. So these highlighted names, you guys are the winners, and we'll be getting contact by Caroline and Summer to get your gift cards. So we have Lucy, Emily, Eric, Ashley, Lauren, Isabel, Marie, and Jordan. So thank you guys, and you'll be getting those. And other than that, our next GBM is going to be September 17th, which is Residency 101 as a reminder, and that's a requirement for mid-year reimbursement. So if you're planning on attending mid-year, I highly recommend that you go to this. And upcoming meetings to keep on your calendar, we have here. And other than that, I just thank you guys so much again for attending. I'm very excited for this year. We have a great turnout, so this is going to be awesome. And I really am looking forward to meeting all of you.